Hi everyone, welcome once again to my YouTube channel. So in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys how I made this beautiful Ankara Tote bag. So if this is something you're interested in, keep watching, hit the subscribe button and let's get started. It's a girl, OJB fashion style. So to make our Tote bag, we require about quarter of a yard of our Ankara fabric and also quarter of a yard of our lining piece, which is about 18 inches wide, okay? And then what we're simply going to be doing is to go ahead and iron this out, and also I'll be ironing our lining piece as well. So now that I'm done ironing, I simply have my fabric folded in two. You can see the area at the bottom where it has a gutter. That's where we're going to be taking our measurement from, okay? So I want the full length of this bag to be around 15 inches from the bottom to the top outside the strap, okay? So I'm taking a measurement of 16 inches, which is additional 1 inch for seam allowance. And then on the side, you can see me take a measurement of half an inch. So for the base there, the width of this bag, it's about 14 inches, okay? So I'll simply be connecting all the points using my straight rule, and I'll go ahead to cut this pattern out. It is actually a squared shape Tote bag. So the little allowance I left on the side will serve as our seam allowance area. So now, after cutting, I have my lining piece as well as my Ankara fabric. So what I'll simply be doing is stitching around the two sides, both the lining and the actual fabric, okay? So after I was done with that, I flipped it over to the right side to iron it out. And now this is what it looks like, okay? So I will simply be joining both my lining piece and the actual fabric together at this point. So I'll just place the lining piece on top of the actual fabric, okay, as you see me do. Then I will hold one portion of it along with the actual fabric, and I will be holding it together using my pins. So this I will do round the entire circumference of this bag. But please take note that you will be leaving out a little space, okay, a little opening. You don't close it entirely. You leave out a little space, like 2 inches allowance, while running your stitches. So that is where you are going to be flipping your fabric inside out. I hope you understand. So while holding the circumference using your pin, or while stitching, running your stitches on your sewing machine, you are not going to close the entire circumference. You are going to leave a little opening where you are going to be flipping or bringing out the actual fabric from the inside out. So this is actually what I've been trying to explain. You can see a little opening there where I'm flipping the fabric inside out. So now you can see my fabric is actually flipped to the right sides now, and then I've tucked in the lining piece. So that little opening left there, I'll simply go ahead and hold it together. I'll stitch it using my needle and thread. You can as well use your sewing machine to run your stitches. Having done that, I went ahead to also iron it. Now you see that half an inch is tucked in of our actual fabric into the lining area. So what I'll be doing next around the circumference is to go up down by 2 inches. Okay, so that measurement I'm taking there is 2 inches, and then I'm going to run my stitches around that portion there. So I'll be attaching our strings around that portion as well as our bag strap. So I'd cut out this piece of fabric, okay? So this we'll be using as our bag strap. So for width, it is 4 inches, and then the length is 30 inches. And what I'll simply be doing now is to go ahead and fold it in two and run my stitches around it. So this I will do, and then I'll flip it over to the right side, go iron it, and then we'll come back to attach it to our Tote bag. So after I was done doing that, this is what it is looking like. So before attaching it to my bag, first of all, I'm going to be taking a measurement of 3 inches from both ends of the side of our Tote bag. So I'm simply making an indication on my bag there. It is at that point we're going to start attaching our strap, and I'll be holding them in place using my pins first before going to stitch it on the machine. Usually I prefer to make cross stitches, but for the sake of this video, the uniqueness of the bag we're actually making, we're going to be running two parallel stitches. So please do not make cross stitches. It is not appropriate for this bag. So after I was done doing that, you can see I've made an opening on the side. So I would be repeating that on this other side. So I'd stitch the strap. I'm simply opening it on the side. The purpose for this is to be able to attach my drawstring, which are tiny elastic bands. Okay, so I'll simply be using my safety pin to run the elastic band through. So after I was done passing the elastic through the first hole, you can also see me passing it through the second hole. So this is basically it for the making of our Tote bag. So at this point, I simply went ahead to slot in some of my gadgets, which I use most of the time: my purse, my power bank, my notes, my selfie stick, into my Tote bag, and this bag actually came in handy for this purpose, and as you can see, it's looking beautiful. So I hope you enjoyed today's tutorial video. If you haven't subscribed, kindly hit the subscribe button, and I'll be seeing you on the next one. Until then, stay fabulous.